G'day YouTube, how the heck we doing? It is Foul Play here, and we're back for the third match of this Pioneer League. Looks like we've actually managed to dodge the Thoughtseize matchup for the first time in 3 games here, and I'm pretty excited to get into this. Looks like potentially a control deck with that Urian, maybe some ETB creatures, hopefully not too many elementals such as Omnath, but it's probably an Omnath deck, which could make things a little more rough for us. Still, let's go ahead. We'll play this on the white side. I'm going to go ahead and play a Light Pause. We did find a duplicate Light Pause. This way, if we draw either a green or white aura, we can still triple aura on Light Pause next turn, which would be pretty darn strong. Oh, hey, look, our opponent can ley Line of Binding for free. That's cool and normal and fun, right? God, man, I hate this fucking card. It would be fine if there weren't these bloody Triome lands, but these Triome lands push it way too far. Alright, we find a Skrelv. I think the play is play land. Oh, we could have, like, Skrelved, Beseiju, Leyline Binding, got back Light Pause. It's probably not a hugely winning position. I think we probably SRAM Sentinel's Eyes here, get that card draw happening. The aura will come back from our graveyard as well. I think this is most pressing. Bitter Reunion. Okay, that seems fine. If I was more familiar with the metagame, I'd know what I'm versing by now. Alas, here we are. Hey, look, our opponent's holding up a Temple Garden. I think the best play is probably to try and attack, try and get 3 damage in, see what our opponent does afterwards. They're probably going to hold out hope, try and get some extra auras off the side. We're going to look to enchant our Glade Cover Scout here, get the card draw effects off the SRAM. And it looks like our opponent's just like fresh out of interaction, so that's kind of interesting. Definitely Glade Cover Scout is a very powerful card in this matchup because it does dodge that creature removal in Leyline Binding. We had a second Skrelv, which isn't great. Hammer Hand in Hand is an aura that we can't cast either, so our hand's not perfect. Hopefully we got a little bit of help off the top of our library. What the heck is this? A Path to World Tree. When it enters the battlefield, search your library for a basic land card. Reveal it, put it into your hand. Alright, sacrifice, Bitter Reunion as well. Sacrifice, World Tree. You gain 2 life, draw 2 cards. Target opponent loses 2 life. Path to World Tree deals 2 damage to up to 1 target creature. You create a green ball thing. Alright, well, that's not particularly impressive in my opinion. You know what is impressive though? Mana Confluence. That means we can now Hammerhand with our opponent tapped out, which is quite the nice little thing. If I can just tap the right color here on the color wheel. Oh my goodness. Are we spoilt for choice here, or are we spoilt for choice? Yeah, hey, the warrior token can't block here. Alright, so we got our Ethereal Armor. We'll jam down another Ethereal Armor now, straight onto our Emperor. Yeah, that was pretty good sequencing there to be had. Let's not give our opponent too much information. We have got lethal on the board here with our opponent tapped out. So we'll attack like this. I don't want to let them know about the combat research. That's information I'd rather keep secret. Alright, so it looks like we're versing a Bitter Reunions deck, and obviously it's got the 80 card deck because of that Yorion there. You can see the Fabled Mirror Breaker, we can see the Bitter Reunion, we can see a whole host of creatures including Elish Norn, Skyclave Apparition. These are all pretty bad for us. Chain to the Rocks is interaction, Leyline Binding is interaction, also pretty bad for us. In the sideboard they've got access to Portable Hull, Temporary Lockdown, and Rendering Volley. All these cards, they're pretty bad for us. That being said, we do have like a decent amount of play ahead of us, so we'll see what we can do with that. Hushbringer could be a consideration because it shuts off some of their creature ETBs. I think the main issue is going to be like their Chain to the Rocks, their Leyline Binding, so probably more important is the Seiju's, possibly Portable Hull as well for Chain to the Rocks. Maybe not Portable Hole, maybe that's a bit deep. Distraction Specialist doesn't seem amazing. Our opponent cheats out their creatures, right? I don't have a huge amount of time here. Let's minus an Audacity. We'll minus a Griff Spoon. We'll submit. Hopefully that went through. Cool, it went through. Excellent. Hey, nice old no creature hand against a Urian deck. Urian deck does mulling into 6. We obliged and join them. This isn't really where we want to be, but we do have to keep this one, so there we go. We'll bottom 1 Temple Garden, get into it. We might have to top deck some creatures off the top of our library. Currently a little bit creature light, and through like 1 Leyline Binding, which I'm sure our opponent will have up, or a Chain to the Rocks, which I'm sure our opponent will have up very shortly. This could be pretty rough for us. So our best draws here would be like Mox Amber or any creature. Okay, our opponent discarding Atraxa, flying Vigilance, Death Touch, Lifelink. When it enters the battlefield, reveal the top 10 cards of your library. For each card type, you may put a card of that type from among the revealed cards into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom in any order. Cool. Nice. Good stuff. Well, our opponent doesn't really have counter magic, so we probably hold up Light Paws. Just bank on the fact our opponent has Chain to the Rocks instead. So we'll go ahead and do that. Because we don't have any other creatures. Light Paws is just too valuable to just jam. Alright, Sacred Foundry in tap from our opponent, and they are passing to us. We find Skrelv off the top, and I mean, honestly, Skrelv's not too bad. Let's play a Skrelv. We'll see what happens after that. I don't really want to throw any auras on Skrelv, so we'll just wait. Omen of the Sea from our opponent. I mean, that's entirely fine. I don't care about that card. The Scry Filterings, okay, but they are an 80 card deck. 1 top, 1 bottom. Currently, our opponent only has 3 colors. Chain of the Rocks, yeah, we're fine them playing that on Skrelv. I was playing around the Leyline Binding by playing the Skrelv when we did. They could very well have a Leyline Binding now. Glasspool, sure, instead of Glasspool Mimic, interesting. So go ahead and we'll Light Pause. Got like double Cartouche of Solidarity. I guess we'll throw a Cartouche of Solidarity into the mix. We force our opponent to have Leyline Binding here. Okay, they have Rendering Volley. It's much of a muchness. This fizzles. That sucks. I should have put the Aganjo down. Apologies. Fires of Invention. Sure. So our opponent can like just empty their whole hand now. Beginning of the end step, you may sacrifice another enchantment. If you do, search your library for a creature card with mana value equal to 1 plus the sacrificed enchantments, blah, 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 blah. This enters the battlefield. You may search your library for an enchantment card. Okay, well, this seems like a pretty darn good combination they got going on here. Hey, look, Leyline of Binding. Cool. I look forward to it. Alright, well, we'll make our opponent make some sort of decisions here. We'll Gigantha to hand after playing the Skrelv we just top decked, and opponent has to either deal with... Oh, yeah, that's an artifact, isn't it? It's pretty nice 1 of Night of Autumn you've got there, opponent. We're up a game. We can recover. Wait. They're playing Leyline of Binding. Oh god, just for the trigger with no target. This is bad for us, I'm sure. What's our opponent see? This horrendous fucking monster. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Target player gains 5 life. Create a 4/4 green warrior token. Put a shield character on target creature you control. Alright, well, we can go ahead and play our Gigantha. I'd be, like, surprised if our opponent didn't have another Leyline of Binding. If we're lucky, it's just a Chain to the Rocks, so they have to spend it during their own turn, right? But either way, we're probably pretty darn boned here. Or not. Or we're still alive. Alright, are we playing around, like, Rendering Volley? That's damage to, like, a white creature, right? Right, white or blue creature. All right, so if we block here, we take 12 damage white and we're dead. Well, damned if we do and damned if we don't. We take 11 damage if we block the giant elemental anyway, so it didn't really matter. Just fell a little bit too far behind on tempo there and couldn't quite get there in the end. I mean, we see an argument for Hushbringer there. It's just like vulnerable to removal, which is the only reason why I wouldn't like it. Alright, against better judgment, I'm going to bring in the Hushbringers. I'm going to like take out Mox Amber here. Maybe take out one SRAM as well. We'll just submit and go with that. Hopefully it works for us. Alright, here we've got a Skrelfam with Hammerhand, we've got Vigilance, we've got no other creatures. Hammerhand's turned off because no mana confluence. It's a pretty obvious mulligan. Turn looks a lot better. We'll like snap keep this. Bottom 1 mana source. Yeah, this seems fine. We'll play Pathway White side, past our opponent. A lot of white mana symbols in hand. We shouldn't need that on green side. Assuming, find the Audacity. We got mana confluence for the Audacity, that's fine. Yeah, I think we're supposed to play SRAM here. Run it with Sacred Foundry, Rendering Volley, that's fine. Fuck, we miss our land drop. That's so fucking demoralizing, man. Really could have done with hitting any land drop in the top 2 cards of our library. That's what we get for taking out our Mox Ambers. This could have been a Mox Amber, hey? Like, in what world do we take Skrelv out in this matchup? We could Skrelv Cartouche. I think that's probably best. At least then we'll be left with a warrior token. It sort of forces the issue for our opponent as well. Potentially baits another removal spell before Light Pause resolves. And off of any land drop next turn. Now, this is a one-of, like, dude. Or at least it's a one-of in the sideboard list I was looking at. I feel pretty hard done by there. No extras in the sideboard, just like one-of in that main deck. That's absurd. 80-card deck keeps 7 2 games in a row. Oh no, they're mulligan to 6 this game. Apologies. Take back everything I said. Kind of want to light pause while our opponent is tapped out, so let's go ahead and do that. Hushbringer would be good to resolve just to stop the ETBs, but I think like just getting past a Leyline of Binding at instant speed is probably edging it for me. Warrior token can attack into the night. Yeah, sure, I'd like this off the battlefield. I guess technically we should have done this before playing any auras whatsoever. Opponent obliges and takes away the warrior token. Okay, I guess they've got the removal for the light pause, at which point we get card draw off the Audacity. Omen of the Sea. I guess Omen could be, instead of Fabled Mirror Breaker, as like a budget list sort of thing. Combat Research. I mean, I do like Combat Research. I think we get the attack in first. Opponent has 4 land types here, which means Leyline of Binding costs 2, right? So we're just going to go ahead and attack as is. I'm going to hold on to Combat Research for now because I'm planning on beating 1 Leyline Binding. I think we Gigantha. I could be wrong. See what happens. Alright, so no interaction from our opponent with that 2 mana. Maybe I just played myself out of like a bit of card advantage with Combat Research, a bit of assurance with that ward, a bit of extra damage. You're into hand for our opponent. Okay. Alright, well, we just hit a Grispoon. I think that's as good a point as any to just test our opponent's hand, see what they've got. Here we definitely go for Sentinel's Eyes. We could get a quicker clock with Ethereal Armor, but we just want to have that reoccursion from that aura. If they let that resolve, I'm assuming they're going to let Combat Research resolve as well, although maybe they're just slow rolling it. Hey, yes, let's go. Alright, well, we could have done this a turn earlier, but I guess we'll take doing it now. Ooh, Curious Obsession could be nice, actually. Let's get like 2 card draws here and maybe play a Hushbringer post-combat. That'd be reasonable. So it's like missing out on, I can't remember, either 5 or 6 damage. But we'll take that. We will definitely take that. Oh my god, we brick on land? You gotta be kidding me, man. It's pretty frustrating. Let's play our second creature anyway. Beseiju on the Kaya's ghost form. Alright, well, we'll play to our opponent doing that in our end step. I haven't got anything to do with the Temple Garden, so that can come in tapped. We'll preserve our life total a little bit. I'm guessing that means a Chain to the Rocks. Fires of Invention. Okay, well, opponents throwing down fires here. Supreme Verdict. Okay, that's pretty good. Audacity, draw a card. Light Pause would be good, because then we could like untap and kill our opponent with Hammerhand, right? Brick on Light Pause. We go Giganther or we go Hushbringer. I think Giganther is probably fine. Yeah, let's go Giganther. It's harder to answer. Like doesn't die to Rending Volley. So we'll do that. Opponent with Haunted Executioner enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white spirit token with flying. Plays Urian. Okay, so gets more flying creatures. We need trample now. That's frustrating. Charming Prince. Okay, our opponent's absolutely unloading a hand now. Shocks in Sacred Foundry. Alright, our opponent is confident they're getting there because they have got 0 cards in hand and just did the power play. They don't even have the blue mana available to like... Oh, they do have the blue mana available to draw a card here and then maybe hit Leyline of Binding after all of the everything. Wait, what the hell happened with Haunted Executioner? There's some extra text I didn't know about. Exile target creature. Okay, well, yeah, that was on the front side. I should have seen that. Well, we're down to a lonely Hushbringer now. Let's go Team Hushbringer. We'll get you happening. We are not exiling Griffspoon, I'll tell you that much. That would be quite the oversight. Alright, we got the bigger flyer. It's only going to get bigger next turn. Our opponent gets a bit of filtering with the Charming Prince again, though, and a bit of card draw with the Omen of the Sea. And I'm sure they sequence that so they draw the scryed card. Oh, look, a Supreme Verdict off the top of our opponent's library. How lovely. I know our opponent's deck digs deep, but I think this is pretty bullshit and they're high rolling pretty outrageously right now. Such a shame, we started this game so well as well. Because we could still hit Light Pause off the top and win. I mean, that would just require hitting a Light Pause off the top, right? Leyline of Binding so they can get some creatures. Archon, oh no, you gotta be kidding me, man. That is so bad for us. Oh, how the fuck do we beat an Archon? We can't. We just can't. That is so annoying. And they didn't even have like a Leyline of Binding off one of our creatures, so we can't Beseiju, get a creature like Fly and Trample or anything. That's just game. Alright, GG's to our opponent. I feel like they high rolled a little bit. Maybe we like medium rolled. We got stomped pretty fucking hard. I hope you enjoyed the video anyway, guys. Be sure to let me know what you thought of it in the comments section below. Maybe I'm crazy to minus this Alpha Authority 2-mana package, but we'll see. We'll see. Thanks for watching. Until next time, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you then.